welcome back to the next episode of Waifu Wars. I am that girl that went on an overnight company trip, regardless of my codependent relationship with my cat humanoid thing, Scooby-Doo.
And I am definitely a boy, Soroni.
And welcome back to another episode of Waifu Wars podcast, where we talk about all things anime. The good, the bad, and the weeb, but not your waifu because she is trash. How are you doing, Oni?
Yes. I am in the process of recovering. How are you, Drew?
I'm okay. I'd be a lot better without a super kink or sore. I'm like, is this what herpes feels like?
Probably.
Is this like, it's gotta be like a herpes joke, like, oh wait, not you and I. Oh, I just realized that you and I had the same exact news, so I guess our news is gonna be very short.
Hey. I'm just so excited for it.
I mean, literally, yeah. But yeah, no, my mouth is in pain, and Oni is mourning the results of his sports ball game. So
yeah, it's fucking sports ball.
Fucking sports ball. All right, so we're going to start our podcast as always with our news segment, This Week in Anime, and surprisingly enough, is Oni and I have the same news, and that is excuse me, Monica Magica, well, Fergus Knocked Rising, the fourth Monica movie coming out. It has finally revealed the debut to be in winter 2024.
Which I'm not sure if that means like winter 2024 as in like next season or like the season after next, or if it means winter 2024 as in like December 2024.
I feel like it's probably the season.
Yeah, like
it's almost
early,
always
like January-ish.
Yeah, January, February.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was thinking.
Yeah, so that's coming out, and I'm super excited for it because it's like finally, wow, the next movie. It's only been almost 10 years since the last movie.
They left us on a cliffhanger, literally.
Yes, and this I've been diving off this cliff for the past. Nope. When I said almost 10 years, I meant literally 10 years. Yeah, maybe technically literally. 11.
I am like, I feel like there's a good amount of people who aren't familiar with Madoka, because like when we were watching Madoka, or when it was popular, it was like, it was basically like the Attack on Titan of its time, and everyone was like, everyone had seen Madoka. It was like, yeah, of course everyone's seen. Now I feel like enough time has passed where for newer people in anime,
there's people who don't know Madoka.
They don't know, yeah.
Yeah.
So if you are newer to anime, if you're a Zoomer and you don't know what Madoka is, go watch Madoka. Really fucking good. It still holds up. I was watching it the other day.
Yeah, and while I did say this was the fourth movie, the best part is it's technically only the second movie because the first two are recaps, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, first two are recaps. The third one is a sequel to the TV series, and it's really good. And then this will be the fourth one, so the sequel to that.
So yeah, we already watched the movie. But yeah, that's it for the news. A very short news section, but that's okay because we have a filler arc where I'm going to be talking about the One Piece anime.
The anime, you mean live action?
That's yeah, the One Piece anime live adaptation. I was about to say that. I had to take a pause because my upper lip was on fire. Like, what I had to take what I'm going to start calling them pain pauses.
Pain pause.
Pain pause. But yeah, basically I agree with everybody when a lot of people are saying it's really good, and I agree with them. This is actually like a surprisingly well done adaptation by Netflix. Like,
never thought I would heard those words before.
Me neither. I can't believe I'm saying them.
Surprisingly good live action adaptation by Netflix.
By Netflix, right? Oh. It's like It's like
it almost hurts as much as the canker spray.
That phrase, it's like that phrase activated the apocalypse. But no, it's really good. The CGI effects were really great. I will say, not everything was a CGI effect, which is probably what sold it. Because then the action scenes were just that. It was literally just the main cast like beating everyone's ass up with like with good fight scenes.
Apparently, the ships are real. Like they actually built all those ships, so like practical effects, which is pretty cool.
That yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I believe that. I actually believe that. Um, the casting fantastic, and yes, I know. Yesterday's stream, I was just saying, oh my god, they're so hot. Like, and yes, they are hot. But no, they're also just very good. Now I'm not a One Piece aficionado in any way, shape, or form, so I'm just going off of the memory of when I was a kid watching One Piece. But they got everything right. The Luffy, great. Because at some points in the show, I got annoyed with how much he was like just screaming all the time, and I'm like, "Yep." I was like, "Yep, they got
Oh
Luffy."
yeah, that's perfect.
Right,
He's
literally
annoying.
annoying as fuck. That's Luffy for you. Also, I liked how it's very like the casting just across the board is just very diverse. Um, Even the main cast. Luffy is now what I like to call him, Luffy Latino. Uh, the actor, I forgot his last name, like Iñaki something. He's Mexican, and yeah, you hear his accent when he says certain words, but it's not bad. It's just a little like that's one of the things I say, like they took certain liberties and they all paid off. And you know another reason why it paid off and why everyone likes this adaptation?
Why?
Because Oda did the casting himself.
Yeah, you should always have the. It helps to have the director, direct or the creator directly involved with the work, the adaptation.
Yeah, absolutely 100%. Like, um and it's crazy how people don't like the casting. They still say something about it, or like they don't like it because it's like, well, they're not all white people. Like, the typical dead brain responses on Twitter, X Twitter, whatever
Yeah,
it's
on
called.
X.
Um, but yeah, and they're like, some people are like, so you have a problem, even though the creator like picked these people. Okay, girl, just say you're racist and show your way out. Um, but yeah, no, the casting was good, the acting was good, and another thing was, I feel like the some of the choices in the adaptation, they kind of really fit. Like I could tell they put I don't want to say the Netflix splash on things, but definitely certain things that it's like, okay, this is because Netflix is doing it in my mind, or maybe it's because it's an adaptation.
Right.
For example, when the crew shows up to rescue Nami from, oh shit, what's that dude's name again? What is it? It's not Rodrigo. I was gonna say, oh, that one shark man dude, and I'm like, that's not gonna help because from what I gather, there's a lot of them. Live action cast.
I
Okay.
wish I could help you, but I know literally.
I know
nothing
you
about
literally
One Piece.
nothing. I know. I'm not like I'm not even asking. I'm not even asking you, friend. Okay. Okay, here is the cast of One Piece. Don't show just the five, please, 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 please. Show the damn. Show the. Okay, they show all these people. Thank you, Arlong. I knew it was.
How could you figure out Arlong? He's so important.
I was like calling him like Aslan or something. I'm like, no, that's the lion from that book. But yeah, like Arlong's territory or his little crew hideout, I felt like there were like some, like it looked like this weird like circus thing with all these
Mhm.
like lights popping up. So it was like kind of modernist, like a modern twist of what his hideout would be. And it was really cool. Unless it had that, unless it looked the same way in the anime, and then never mind, take it all back. But it just looked, the way they executed it was very well done. Um, yeah, I already talked about how the fights or choreographed very well
Mm.
choreography. Like even Luffy's fights, you know, it just felt really professional. Like I don't know, I was just really shocked. It just felt less cartoony because, well, one, they're not cartoons, but two, even the fighting is not as cartoony. So I don't know. I just feel like it was a really well done adaptation. I like the, like I said, I like that Luffy was Latino. Nami was, I mean, yeah, she was just a white girl. Zoro, of course, was, you know, Japanese slash Asian because that's like the theme of where he was raised. Usopp, yeah, I'm glad they made Usopp black. I feel like that was the right decision because literally, like, look at him after the time skip. Like, come on, that afro. Yeah, okay. And then who's the last one? Is it just? Oh yeah, and then Sanji. Sanji. By the way, Sanji, like outside of like the actor outside of him, yo, he is so beautiful. It's ridiculous. But yeah, Sanji's British. So yeah, a bunch of different nationalities, and I guess a black guy. So yeah, it felt like a good, like uh varied cast, but none of them, it never felt forced. They just all felt fit in very perfectly with their roles. Um, all the bad guys are cool as fuck. You know, and I mean that in terms of design, their entrances, like, you know, the Buggy, the clown. Do you remember Buggy the clown? The, like, he's like
Yeah,
literally
yeah,
in the first couple of
yeah.
episodes.
I've seen them all over the place.
Exactly. They did a good job with that. Um, they did a good job with Alvida. They did a good job with um, yeah, Arlong, fucking terrifying. Uh, which, oh, there's one more. Like one of the quote unquote emperors, or it's one of the seven something men, the seven big bad pirates. I forget what their names are. Anyways,
Mm.
you meet one of them, and he was badass and also really hot. Like, and it was so cool because, and I think, which kind of ties into the next reason why I thought this was such a success. We finally had the technology that we can make decent animation
Mm.
of certain things. Like, it was so cool seeing this guy like cut down everyone with his big ass sword, and then literally he like waves the sword and literally slices from the beach he's at. He slices like a whole ship in half, and it was really well done in terms of graphic. So yeah, it just felt like everything was just really well done. If
So you
I
here for the Naruto live action coming up?
No, no. I mean, if people say it's good, I'll probably still watch it. But you know, we could never have one, and I'll be okay with that. Um, let's see. I guess the only thing I would say I wasn't a huge fan of, and this is me nitpicking. I don't know. I don't know. I can't remember if I said this on Saturday stream, but definitely the wigs are definitely a little wiggy.
Mm.
The wigs were a little wiggy. Wait, I want to, now I have a picture of it. I can see, look for Nami's hair. Uh, where is Nami? I can't tell if that's a wig or not. But either way, I don't like it. I'm not a huge fan of Nami's hair, like, at all. You know, in my mind, it was giving wig. And the same thing for, yeah, this is definitely a wig. Sanji's hair is definitely a wig. That has to be a wig. And I think they were trying to, because you know how he has like that huge bang that covers his like face.
Yeah.
I feel like they're trying to like recreate that, and it just looked really wispy and weird for me, at least. Was not the hugest fan of that hair at all. It didn't translate too well. There's like as like the wind picked up in scenes, like it just kind of went wispy and just went one way or the other. But like I said, that's me being extremely nitpicky. And like anything else I didn't like, that's just that's just me saying what I didn't like about the anime. Like, oh, I didn't like scenes where Luffy was just screaming and they were all just screaming all the time. I'm like, yeah, that's just the anime, right? Exactly. So I think it's a very good, very faithful one-to-one adaptation. There are plenty of screenshots that were taken on. I forgot the thread on Twitter where they showed like here are some like side by side shots, and yeah, it was done very well. Yeah, in short, yeah, let the creator be a big part of it. You'll never know. It could actually be good.
Yeah.
Except
now they can only make all the other shows that they fucked up good. That'd be great.
Yes. And don't and let them have like let them pick out the person. I mean really pick out. Not what they did with the dude from not that hack sign, Ghost in the Shell, who was like, oh yeah, he picked out Scarlett Johansson himself. Like, no. He definitely was shown a bunch of actors and was like, pick one of these.
No, I think he just probably really liked Scarlett Johansson. He was like, yeah, sure. Yeah.
No, there's no way. There's literally no way.
I feel like that's
no
the case.
No. Because if that's like saying, in my mind, that's like saying.
I mean, you act like Scarlett Johansson's a bad. Like, I think she's a fine. Like, if I were to pick someone, like off the top of my head to play the major, I probably would be Scarlett Johansson. I'm like, yeah, it's kind of like
no,
Widow.
No, for starters, I pick someone Asian. Secondly, because the whole concept that you're
we're not gonna
we're not gonna
the race thing. I just think that it's not as crazy a pick.
Or pick someone.
She literally is
pick someone who's going to speak Japanese. It was so that it's almost like I feel like he's almost high key disrespecting his own art to literally having a movie where because this girl cannot speak Japanese, everyone's speaking Japanese, but she's like, oh, because of movie magic, I can magically understand them and just talk back to them in English. Like that's that was unforgivable. It has nothing to do with Scarlett Johansson and her ability to be an actor. By the way, it's just she clearly was not the right pick for that role, which is why people did not like it. Like no one is going back and saying, hey Oni, you know what was really great anime adaptation? Yeah, that Ghost in the Shell movie. No one's saying that.
I think it's a shitty adaptation, but I don't think it's just because Scarlett Johansson was major, and I also don't. I think
that's a huge part of it. I think that's a huge part. When the main character, when the full character isn't speaking language,
a lot of shitty. I mean, like they got an Asian guy for Cowboy Bebop, and it was still trash.
Yeah, and I never watched it, so I can't speak on it. But that's why I'm just like, there's no way. Like that's why. I don't know, man. I'm just saying that would be saying the guy, the oh shit, I forgot the dude who did Cowboy Bebop. What's his name? I read the creator of Cowboy Bebop, but the creator of Cowboy Bebop, if he was like, yes, Scarlett Johansson, this movie's gonna be great.
I mean, but like to be fair, it'd be like if they did like a G Gundam movie and they picked what's his name, Robert Downey Jr. I wouldn't be like, oh, it's the craziest fucking pick. Like, no, he literally makes a career off of playing a dude who pilots a metal suit. Like, it works. You know, he's also eccentric. I don't think that the Scarlett Johansson, like, she kind of fits that archetype of character. So I don't know.
I
It's not like they were like, oh yes, we're picking fucking insert random Hollywood Chris Pratt as Mario.
which apparently
So
worked
like,
out.
yes, the major is going to be Chris Pratt.
I'm just saying they could have just made the movie American. It's like that. Yes, no, I agree. It wasn't just all on her fault. It was like a mishmash of bad decisions, including hiring a white woman to play in a movie that's in Japan, surrounded by Japanese people who are speaking Japanese. Just make a
It worked for Tom Cruise.
But yeah, but people were like super ignorant and racist back then, so of course it would work. Like, when that come out in like 04?
Hey, Last Samurai is a really good movie, even to this day.
Yeah, I'm sure they thought the same thing, but you see, at least that was its original silly idea. So that has merit. They chose to go down that route. This was like, hey, we have the source material. Let's turn it into The Last Samurai, starring Scarlett Johansson, and it's up. So yeah. Lesson learned for Netflix, I hope. And yeah, that's my little spiel on that. So now it's finally time to start the weekly reviews, and we're gonna start off with. Oh my god! Sorry, I needed a pain pause. We're gonna start off with Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, Episode 7.
Which is my episode of the week. I think, unless I'm forgetting another show. Yeah, no, this is my episode of the week.
Yeah, I guess.
Not a fan? Were you not a fan of the?
No, like I know, I'm not agreeing. It's just there's nothing.
Yeah, nothing. All right. So, in fairness, this was a weaker week.
There was a weaker week, yeah. I will say it wasn't my favorite in terms of fights, for sure.
I like the boldness of it. Like, yeah, let's have a fucking giant Gundam fight, Mahito. That was cool. Like, conceptually.
Yeah, that is agreed.
But I feel like Jujutsu Kaisen's at its best when it's doing the kind of more brawly, like street fightery, like Gojo fucking beating up that one dude in the movie, or Yuji punching the shit out of people and Todo punching the shit out of people. Yeah, like when it's more physical.
Agreed.
This was a lot more just like flashy lights and shit.
Yeah, so it was cool. Like yeah, like half the fight was just him being, I'm yelling out my attacks.
Fight.
Yeah, literally that. I'm yelling out my attacks, and then flash of beams everywhere, and then Mahito dodges them all, except like once or twice where he gets hit.
But it looked pretty.
But it looked pretty. That is
and it
true.
had a good soundtrack, and it was really hype.
Yeah, all these things are true. I think for me, ironically enough, my favorite part was when it got a lot less pretty, and Mahito did his domain expansion.
That was really cool. I did like that scene. I love his domain expansion with his mouth.
Yeah, because we never really got to see. I love how his domain expansion never works.
I just had a dumb thought that's just like he can give you a hand job with his mouth.
What?
He has little hands in his mouth.
I mean, I listen. I guess him and what's and that dude from Shippuden, Naruto Shippuden, they could just make out with their hands.
He was literally doing Naruto fucking ninjutsu with his mouth.
Oh my god, that's funny. But yeah, he never seems to get actually execute his domain. Everything gets interrupted.
Yeah, it's like, oh no, you thought.
But to be fair, his domain is like a one shot. It's like if there isn't anything to interrupt this, you just die. So I guess they have to find ways to disrupt it, or else it'd be a little too easy.
Yeah, I appreciated the little bits of My Girl Miwa as Mekamaru was like having his flashbacks and stuff.
Yeah, because he was like, "Oh my god, she was nice to me, and I want to see her." And
tripping every single death flag.
Yep.
I'm gonna get out of here. I'm gonna see Miwa and tell her I love her.
Right, and then he was like, "I'm gonna fight you now."
Yeah. Before I confirm that Mahito's dead, I'm gonna just use all my resources to fight you.
Yeah. And they didn't even I don't know. I wish they would show the body at least. Just show the dead mech, and I'm like, damn, a little disrespectful.
Is it bad that I just he was probably one of the more least interesting characters?
No, I don't care that he's dead. If that's what you're asking,
I don't care that he's dead.
I don't. I'm like, oh no, he's gone.
Yeah, well.
Yeah, like you said last year, excuse me, like you said last week, he was the perfect person to kill.
Because he's somewhat relevant, but he's like I don't think he's anyone's favorite character.
Yeah. Also, he kind of betrayed them all just so he can so he can be a real boy. So it's like, I don't you kind of literally asked for it. So yeah. Let's see. Oh, so Geto puts up the barrier that closes that isolates Shibuya. And then unleashes some sort of technique that sucks a bunch of people into the subway station, like a hurricane. And yeah, and then the rest of the episode is kind of set up for the arc itself.
Yeah, which I'm glad we're getting right into it. It's just like boom.
Yeah.
Not that much build up, because this is this is 23 episodes, so we're still is this whole arc gonna be Shibuya? The next 12 episodes or 14 episodes or whatever left?
Girl, your guess is as good as mine.
Because that sounds like a massive arc.
That is a big arc. I mean, so was the one in My Hero.
Which one? Well, My Hero. Listen, My Hero has pacing issues. I'll die on that hill.
Okay, I don't know. I don't think that arc. I think that arc is fairly paced.
Which arc in particular?
the I'm like one of the best ones. The one where they infiltrate the villains and literally everything that happens after.
Oh yeah, that one. But then we also have the arc where it was literally just a trading fucking.
Oh my god! 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 You're really not
me by pacing.
You're not. You're literally. Oh my god!
I'm not letting that go. That was horrific.
Y'all die on the hill for tuning exams, but that which was the same thing as the tuning exams, except towards the end.
But far more boring.
Oh yeah, because the Sakura Ino fight was so great.
All right, but I'm not lying. That was pretty lit.
That was yeah, because you have no taste in anime at that point.
Well, to be fair, anyone who's watching Naruto has no taste in anime.
Woo! Okay.
Oh my god! Which reminds me, I saw the weirdest interaction I've ever seen on Twitter. One person was talking to another person, and they were like, "Oh yeah, I'm glad you recommended Mushoku Tensei. I really enjoyed it." He's like, "Yeah, I think you'll like Naruto as well." He's like, "Okay, I'll check it out." I'm like, "What kind of person has seen Mushoku Tensei but has not seen Naruto?" What is this? Like, yes, I've seen Mushoku Tensei, but what is this Naruto you speak of?
Oh my gosh.
Like, how many barriers did you trip through to get to
Is that
that part of the
right?
anime
Like, how
fandom?
did we get here? Excuse me? Oh my gosh. That is Mushoku Tensei to Naruto.
Yeah, that's a jump.
I
That's
you
like
know
that's
I
a
need to know
leap.
who
I'll see if I can find it. It was on Twitter somewhere.
Okay, wow, that hurt my head a little bit. Um yeah, no, I think that's everything I have to say about Jujutsu Kaisen.
Yes.
Good episode. Up next we have Mushoku Tensei, season 2, episode 10.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Sophie. She's like, oh my god, I'm feeling iced out and insecure because he's so busy being popular, having like a whole gang and raising
He's so
his
popular.
dwarf lowly slave daughter and and meeting up with his not Japanese not lover.
Mm-hmm. I kind of like that this whole episode was just like a tour of Rudy's friendships for this season. Like we literally got to see him with everyone. We got to see him interact with Nanahoshi, with his slave, with the cat girls, with fucking Soul, with
Demon King.
Elenice, Demon King, Sylphie at the end. Like literally everyone got a turn this episode.
Yeah. Except Roxy.
She'll be back.
um but yeah, no, it was yeah, it was just basically a good episode. Just
This was entirely a setup episode because
yeah, very
clearly at
slice
the
of
end
lifey.
it was super slice, which I like the slice of life parts. I know a lot of people are probably like, I've seen a lot of people rag on this season because it's very slice of lifey, but I like it. I thought the
Oh
little
my
scene with Jin was
god, I'm
cute.
so sick of this stupid narrative of people just being like, "Oh, I hate pacing because they're not showing later." No,
I mean, that's literally it.
just literally get like I don't know, get your flashlight and keep you watching reruns of Naruto Shippuden fight scenes and
Like
leave
I saw
us
people
the
complaining about last week's episode with the whole revelation about Nanahoshi and everything, and people were like, "Oh, such a waste opportunity. They could have had like another fight scene or something." I'm like, "Oh my god!"
I'm
Like,
so
why do
like,
you?
bro, I'm so sick of like. I feel
Like, when
like
are we getting out of the school so we can see Rudy fight?
I feel like people should pass like an arithmetic test before they post on social media. Like every time they just have to, and and do it after they write it out. Like after they write everything out, then they have to start the test. And if they just so they get extra frustrated and extra deterred to do it again, because then
It's
they'll
like
be
one of
like,
those "Are you a robot?" type deals.
yes, but they actually have to do math or logic exercise.
Mm.
No, I say this knowing damn well I'd probably fail myself,
But still,
but still, right? Maybe that means I too should not say anything. I can. I'm okay with that.
yeah. I think what is cool about it is I think that it's like thematically the whole first season of Mushoku Tensei was about like adventure, and it fits with Eris because like if you want to break Mushoku Tensei down into like arcs, I guess, or bigger arcs, the whole first half or first season was Eris was the main girl, so it like kind of revolved around adventure and fighting and all that kind of stuff because that's kind of Eris's personality.
Yeah.
But this is clearly revolving around Sophie, so it's more calm and slice of life and serene, but with a lot of character development because that's more Sylvie's
Yep,
personality.
and a bigger focus on magic for
And yep,
obvious reason.
and then when we get to Roxy, I'm curious to see what that's going to be about.
Right.
Probably more emotional and I don't know. Does she really do that much combat stuff? I don't think Roxy does that much combat stuff.
Yeah, I haven't really. I don't think I've ever seen her in a fight. But who knows? A lot's happened since the beginning of Mushoku Tensei. A lot has happened. So you know, a lot. It's been 6 years. Cause didn't she train him when he was like 10?
Yeah. Oh no, Roxy. She trained him when he was like 5 or 6.
So even younger.
Yeah. Oh my god, there's only 13 episodes. I assume this is gonna be a 2 core thing. So, because I was about to say, I'm surprised that they doing the whole Sophie being revealed as a girl thing already. I thought they were gonna drag it on a lot longer.
Nope.
But yeah, no, it's only 13 episodes. So I guess the second, I assume we're gonna get the whole full reveal next episode, and
Yep.
then next half will be probably spring or something.
Yeah. Let's see. One of the things I would like about this episode. What did I like about this episode? When Soldat comes to village, and then he's just like, "Oh, how did a slut like you
Fuck him.
get a boyfriend?"
Talking about my Elenice like that.
I know. I was like, whoa! Don't disrespect my queen too much now. Hold up.
Cliff was just gonna punch him in the
Right,
face.
I don't care how good you are with a sword. You can still catch these hands, okay? Mm-mm-mm.
I kind of thought that I took Elenice's comeback as kind of like a backhanded slap. Kind of like she was like, "Oh well, I finally met somebody worthy enough to be like, like you weren't good enough, so fuck off."
I don't even think that's in her
Yeah,
character.
right.
She's not worried about what
Eh,
Soldat's saying.
she's a bit snarky.
I don't know. I don't think either of them were. I don't even think he was snarky when he said that. He was just like,
I
yo,
think he
he
was
just
salty when he
no,
said that because he
not.
clearly does have feelings for Elenice. Because he was salty when she was leaving too.
I mean, I'd be salty too if my free good sex was
Yeah,
also
well,
leaving me.
and he doesn't have that free sex anymore because she's with Cliff.
That's okay. People
Hence
move
him being
on.
salty.
Oh, I mean, I guess, but I don't think I think you might be right. That might it's good. It might be a little projection on someone's part, but I think he was just being. I think he was just having banter, and he was being very. Uh, he wasn't really mincing his words because that's not who he is. He's not gentle
Could
or
be
not. He's
both.
very crass. So you just like, oh wow, I was like you, get with a man, and then she's
I think
like,
it's both. I think it's banter and him poking fun at her, but also he's doing assault.
okay. Um, his feelings were so hurt when Fake Fitz was avoiding him,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm glad. Like I wasn't bugging too. I thought I was thinking too much about it. I was like, in my mind, I was like, if the queen isn't there, or sorry, if the princess isn't there, and it's just the two of them, dot dot dot, they wouldn't leave the princess alone.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, for a second, I thought that was just the princess in disguise as well, and it would make sense because she didn't even like say a word, and yet, uh, scene at the library, you can tell Sophie was like, "Oh yeah, you were there at the market." Like you could tell she wasn't really there. Also, it would make sense for him to go all the way home and then to go to the library, and then
Mm-hmm.
she greeted him, not even apologizing for the way she acted. So yeah, I too thought that 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 wasn't Sophie. Yeah, glad I was correct.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I love how at the end when he does before he finds out that she's a girl, he's like, oh, I've been researching, and I still can't beat my meat. And she's like, beat your what?
I'm sorry, what was that? I missed that.
But yeah, Sophie is the key because his addicted rise.
Mm-hmm.
Um It did rise momentarily. It will rise for the right person.
Yeah, I guess, and it does make sense because he was like looking for someone who he can trust and not, you know, have that emotional connection with, and he does have that emotional connection with Fitz, aka Sophie.
It's aka Sophie. Also, that scene where they're drinking at lunchtime, where they're just getting hammered.
Yeah, Julie coming up here, we're like, yeah, I'll slam you's back.
Julie's like, alcohol, yum. I guess, yeah, they don't have child laws, so
No.
I guess drink away.
Enjoy. Just don't worry about tomorrow when you get the hangover.
All right. Up next we have Undead Girl Murder Farce, episode 10.
Mm-hmm.
So, did we? I feel like there's still a mystery that hasn't been revealed.
Mm-hmm.
I still think, in my mind, I still think Luis is the werewolf.
I'm like 100% sure Luis is the werewolf.
I
I'm 99 because they might be drawing it like
right, because they were like, oh, it's the artist woman. She was a but you don't see her face.
Mm-hmm.
You just see her run away, and I'm just like, was it the artist?
Plus, they did the whole thing where Louise and the other girl that's a werewolf look exactly the same, and it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, they look very similar. Shout out to introduction to the cowgirl and Kyle, who is clearly one of the Goyles.
Man, I'm so mad because they're clearly gonna die. Are they gonna introduce these Royce people every arc just to kill them off, even though they're by far the most interesting and beautifully designed characters on the show?
No, they're gonna let her live. They're gonna kill the black guy. I know they are because
no, they're gonna kill them both, and they're gonna die just as bad as what's her face.
I just want. I mean,
next episode, werewolf jumps on Kyle. And,
no shade to cowgirl, but like, I'm fine with her. All she does is come in and just, I'm gonna shoot everybody. Like, that's her personality. I'm just gonna shoot everybody with my guns. Like, okay, girl, we get it. You got guns. They shoot bullets. Ooh, so scared. Her design's cool, but outside of that, she's whatever. But then Kyle is just typically gay. It's just typical gay man. Typical gay man wearing makeup in an anime. But we don't get to any of those, so. And he's a black man, so I stand. I have to stand as just off principle. Because he's one of the Goyles. Oh, Rip Shizuku. Yeah, I guess I forgot this this anime came out before TLC, so you know. Unfortunately, she didn't listen to that song. Don't go chasing waterfalls.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Yep. Stick to the rivers and the lakes like you're used to. Or she'll end up like Shizuku.
At least she saved Aya.
From what? Death?
Falling down the river.
Where did you from? Death?
Being really hard to find when she's falling.
I mean, sure, I guess. Saved her from a really bad headache. Let's see. Also, they went to a little bit of like the background for like the werewolves and the lore, and it's cool because I feel like they introduced something new, like the whole concept of like them breeding with each other to like create the best offspring.
Yeah, I like the whole thing where it's like they get more and more resistant. Like now they're resistant to silver. Yeah, they're weak to fire, but eventually they might become resistant. And they're just like super bad.
And then they're apparently their whole goal is to make the Kindfjord or something like that. The ultimate werewolf. Because we always get Dracula, who is just like their version of the ultimate vampire, but we never get like the ultimate werewolf. We just get like badass werewolves.
Right.
Yeah, more often than not, always usually die. But yeah, and I also think in my mind, Luis knew that they were werewolves because she's a werewolf, and they could just sniff each other out.
Probably. I'm like, there's a lot more. Like, I feel like I can't solve the mystery yet because it's like we're missing key parts.
Mind you, and then I was like, oh no, this mystery could have been solved 2 episodes ago.
It could have been solved before you even knew what werewolves were, actually.
Before we got to the village. You should have known. If you saw, you saw a second of a frame, like at 1941. You could see the broken wheelchair in the distance, and that was your hint. That's all you needed to see.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was that. Yeah, I don't think I had anything else to say.
No, that's it for me as well.
I did like the action sequences, as always. Were they were very good. They were satisfactory. Alright, up next we have Dekiru Neko, episode 10. This was so sweet, but also like it was like this episode. Why is the relationship feeling just a wee bit unhealthy?
Well, what with the
Saku
cat
and
and her?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's always been unhealthy.
Yeah, it was unhealthy, but like I feel like it really hit because it's like I know she's always been a mess, but like I thought it was just I know she like obviously loves her cat, but I didn't know it was gonna be to the point where she's like drunk calling the cat.
I need to call my cat.
Almost not going on the trip because of the cat. I didn't know she was codependent like that.
I think it's like she's like she has to make sure Yukichi's fine, healthy, and safe.
He literally takes like he keeps her alive. Why would she have to do like I don't?
Well, I mean that was the point. he was obviously even more prepared for her to leave than she was.
Exactly. So much. This is so funny when he was just stuck inside all day, just doing nothing because he's got nothing to do. Oh, but I like that one part where like he clearly missed her like scent and just like took a nap or like lay down under her clothes and then went to bed wearing her sweater.
Yeah, that was really cute.
Yeah, that was very cute. And then
I like that we get to see more of her coworkers though. I always feel like they needed more screen time.
Yeah, I think they really got this episode. It was fun. Basically, they were just panicking over over Saku the entire trip, but very funny nonetheless. I like the part where where she drunk calls Yukichi and Yukichi is like purrs back into the phone. And I'm just like
very aggressive purring, by the way.
Right. I'm just like I feel like this is just like is it me or is this furry bait in the making?
Nah, no, it's very furry bait.
Right. I'm like, no, there's definitely dojins where they're like fucking each other. Which
yeah, I'm like 100% sure of that.
Yeah. Like 1,000% sure. No judgment. If you like it, I love it. But I was just like, whoa! It just felt really intense this episode. I don't know. They just laid it on really.
The shipping between Yukichi and Saku really took off this episode.
Like them being apart made their connection. They just really showed how much they really love each other, and it's like it's I'm like it's loving and like a pet owner pet way, right?
Yeah, sure.
Right.
That's gonna be the last episode.
No, oh my god, no, please. Please, and anything but that. Please, Yukichi, find a. No, never mind. That's not. That's not gonna.
Not
I was like,
happen.
find a nice girl cat you can have babies with. But I'm just like, oh yeah, I'm pretty sure you. I physically, I don't think that's possible.
No.
But yeah, it was. I don't know. It was just wild to me. It was like, but it was sweet. I don't know. It's like I'm stuck between like, oh, this is getting a little
It's
too
sweet.
furry, and then I'm just like, oh, but that's nice because they love each other. But I don't necessarily want them to love each other in that way. I want it to be,
You want to stay wholesome.
yeah, stay wholesome, please. Don't be lewd. No. Oh my gosh. But yeah. Also, I hope to be him one day where I just clean so much and I'm just bored because I just did everything in my house. I want that to be me one day. It's
Yeah.
never going to be, but I would like that. That's definitely like cleaning goals.
It's a goal. Goals.
Right. Like like my mom complimented me on like how like my room is coming together. If you saw my room, you'd be like, "What are you talking about?" And I'd be like, "Agreed." It's because I put up my bookshelf finally. You know how long I had that bookshelf in the box, Oni?
A year. A year.
I heard you. I just didn't answer because it's longer.
Well, damn, you just left a perfectly good bookshelf in a box for longer than a year.
I'm pretty sure I bought it during the pandemic.
Damn, man, you had all the time during the pandemic to set it up and didn't do
it. Listen, you underestimate my abilities to procrastinate. You know, it's because I was just like, oh, I don't want to deal with putting together another big thing. I think that's what it was, because I was like, oh, I put together my desk, I put together this little thing doohickey nightstand. I was just like, I don't want to put together any more things, and yeah, it actually was pretty simple. Like I'm pretty sure it took me like an hour. It wasn't that bad. Very cheap though. Like there's like I had to wear gloves out of fear of getting a splinter.
Ew.
Yeah. But yeah, and that's it for Dekiru Neko.
Yeah, yeah.
That's it for Dekiru Neko. Please don't have weird bestiality sex with each other, Saku and Yukichi. Thank you.
Or maybe do. We'll see.
Next, we have Dark Gathering, episode 10.
Speaking of weird dojin potential.
What?
There's plenty of potential for weird dojins from this series.
What, you mean they just getting fucked by ghosts all the time?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, I mean, well, I guess.
What's weirder? Getting fucked by ghosts or getting fucked by the cat?
I think I take the ghost.
As in the ghosts are weirder.
No, I
You'd
prefer
rather get fucked by the ghost than Yukichi?
Yeah, no, yeah. I take the ghost.
That's a you thing.
You'd rather get fucked by a big cat
over the ghost. Yes.
Okay, wait. But are they gonna kill me? That's like, I mean, like, are these like Are these like?
You want
Are these like?
brainstem dude?
Are these like
filling
cool?
up your...
Are these cool Kama Sutra ghosts?
No, you want brainstem dude
Oh,
feeling up
okay.
on your
I mean, I guess.
spinal cord? While
Fine. I mean, I get. I would maybe I would say as in terms of like the genre, I would be more okay with ghosts. I'm not saying I would rather have sex with the ghost, but I'm okay with the genre of this existing. It's just because Saku and Yukichi, it's so wholesome. Like I can't. It's like I know how nasty people are, and it's like even if I was into the whole furry shit, it's not gonna be like, oh my god, we're just cuddling up with each other and then we like have sex, even though that in itself is gross enough for me. But
the thing is,
it's gonna be like, oh yeah, like let me, I'm gonna stick my ribbed cat pee up your bum, like.
No, see, I think it would be the opposite. The Yukichi stuff would be like super wholesome and vanilla, but with Dark Gathering, you're gonna get like blood and gore and guro and vor.
I don't know. It's like I'd rather just see. I just rather protect Saku and Yukichi's. I'd rather protect them, and just let the ghost defile the characters of Dark Gathering. I'm sorry.
Wow, jerk.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm
no ghost will touch Yaoi.
Sorry,
literally.
Sorry, Eiko. Sorry, Yaoi. Sorry, I. Definitely sorry, Keitaro.
I defend Yaoi over Saku. Sorry.
Yeah,
She's
oh,
too precious.
Shock. I guess you want Yaoi all for yourself.
No, she's just too badass.
Mm.
Unlike Saku, she can actually take care of herself. Yes, this was a whole setup episode for the next arc.
Yeah, basically, where she introduces the graduates, which is cool because instead of just saying like I have a bunch of strong spirits, it shows how they're born and how they're created and how she traps them in like real time. And it answers like the questions of like why are they not at your house?
They're too dangerous.
Yeah, the answer is like because they finna kill everybody.
I like how the moment she got the new graduate, it's like, oh, time to try to kill Keitaro Neko.
Period. Like, yeah.
Answer the phone.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that.
That was the scam likely ghost.
It was like out of the hello, we're calling because your insurance is
your warranty on your car insurance is
yeah, so and then they basically identify they super like identified the pinpoints of what's gonna be happening in the anime moving forward, their objectives, what they're gonna be doing and how. Like, oh, we're going all throughout Japan. We're going to go to these places, catch more ghosts because my all my library ghosts have been killed by the graduate.
Yes, I like how it's structured and it's very like now we have an overarching goal as opposed to just being like, well, we're just chilling and ghosts happen to be here sometimes or whatever. Now it's like, no, we're deliberately going to these really haunted spots to tackle like these really strong ghosts until we can get to the point where we have a strong enough army of graduates.
My only gripe with this episode is that I don't like that they have a ranking system for each place. I'd rather it be a mystery every time.
Well, there is one spot that is unknown.
I want them all to be unknown. That's literally the whole system. Like, it's not fun. It's not as scary if I know it's going to be like a harder ghost to kill. Because at that point, my expectations will be adjusted.
In what way? Like S rank is gonna make you because next up they're doing an S rank ghost.
Like it's like, oh, it's probably gonna be crazy, bloody, X, Y, and Z because it's gonna be like a really big bad one.
Yeah, I mean, like it's like any other kind of shonen-y power ranking. Like, oh,
I
this is a guy with
know
a
that's on,
Bankai,
but
and he's the
but
fifth
this
ranked
isn't a
captain of the.
shonen. That's why I'm like,
It
ew.
kind of is.
It is, but it isn't. Like, it could have been not shonen. Like, it's like, like it made me, yeah, maybe that's why I don't like it because now it feels shonen-y. So it's like,
Oh,
I didn't
coming
like
from the guy who
that.
likes One Piece live adaptation, now you're gonna complain about the power ranking system in Dark Gather.
Yeah, yeah,
That makes no sense.
that's that's about right. I mean, I liked the adaptation. It was a good adaptation. It wasn't an anime, like so it was enjoyable to watch.
I don't know.
Like One Piece, my expectations were adjusted. This horror supernatural anime, I kind of just want to be like for me, horror. Half of the horror is the suspense and not knowing what's going to happen.
Well, you don't know what's gonna happen. You just know it's gonna be a really strong ghost, which is what you were asking for before. You were like, "Why are these ghosts all such pushover bitches?" And
I want them to be scary ghosts. Just don't tell me if this is gonna be an S rank one or this is gonna be a C rank one.
But you don't know the context of it. You don't know what an S rank ghost is.
I guess we'll find out.
Exactly.
I guess we'll find out. I just think it was unnecessary. I think they could just been like, yeah, they kill, yeah, just get random ghosts from here, and however it plays out, it plays out.
Nah, I kind of like the ranking because it gives you a good expectation of what you'll find in there.
Okay.
It builds tension. It's like, well, when they fight a triple S rank ghost, and you're like, oh fuck, the S rank ghost was that strong. The triple S rank ghost is gonna be insane.
We'll see.
Indeed.
Alright, up next we have Masamune-kun no Revenge R. Episode 10.
I was not a fan of this episode. I feel like the show's just entering so dumb. It's just entering dumb melodrama territory now. There was no reason for Aki to do the whole like thing at the end.
Okay, well, we can agree on that. We can agree on that. I think I understand what she was trying to do, though. She was trying to be like, "Hey, you moved on from this." Did she have to introduce him out of nowhere to like my school
That was awkward.
bully? Right. That would have been too much.
Not a good thing to do on a date with somebody, guys.
Also, it was at that point I was like, okay, so she's probably gonna break up with him because I'm like, that's
yeah, it was very telegraphed. It was like, oh yeah, this is a moving on thing. Like I helped you move on, now I gotta move on for you.
Yeah,
I don't know. It doesn't feel real. It's like that's not what. I don't know. I feel like it's inconsistent with what she wanted before because she was like, I don't care if he likes me, I like him and I want to be with him. But now it's just like I like him and I want to be with him, but not being with him. Like romantic intentions in the show make no sense. People are just all over the place depending on what the plot wants them to do.
I will say, yeah, that. Oh no, wait, no, never mind. I think the execution of them. I think the time period of them dating could have been fleshed out more, like one more episode. Cause it's like I understand what's going on. Like Aki is at that point where she's like, okay, even though I do love him and I'm glad he's here, da 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 da. This is not like he's clearly pushing himself to do all this shit just to be with me. Like he's not being himself around me, and she's smart enough that she gets that.
Yeah, but he was literally just becoming close to her and being like, "Oh, I can finally be with her," and then she's like, "Oh, by the way, no."
Right, that's why I'm saying they could have had an episode or two to like really just let that to watch her work that out in her brain instead of going from like, "Oh yeah, I know he doesn't like me." Like I feel like all that realization happened off screen from like the moment their first date happened or the Christmas date happened or the New Year. No, it's Christmas date happened. To now, they let all of that happen in the background when I feel like that was very important to iterate at some point.
It was and I get the point. It's supposed to be like his original plan was to get her to fall for him so they could break up with her, and she kind of did that to him. So I'm like, oh, it's like a poetry rhymes, but whatever. It's I just don't feel like it was built up too well enough.
Yeah,
It didn't
agreed.
have that impact.
Agreed. Like Aki's character is whiplashing like way too hard as a
Yeah.
result. Like it went from oh yeah, because I love him. I was like, okay. Like I'm still stuck on that. She's like, yeah, but I love him. I was like, get like um like I feel like her character just changed so drastically from the beginning of this season
Mm-hmm.
to where we are now that I'm getting like a whiplash.
Yeah.
But now she just seems like an incredibly super nice, almost unrecognizable version of herself. Like she just flat out was like, "Oh Yoshino, it's okay. Oh Yoshino, you pretended to be me, chased him away, and he was the reason why he hated me, and but then you were trying to stop that. It's okay." And then somehow in her mind, she also realized that those two are in love with each other. Like what?
Yeah.
It's a lot. I feel like they're making Aki like the martyr, which is very very weird. Like they're I'm fine with her becoming the she. It's like she's not even the Yui. It's like she
Mm.
had main character energy, and then they're like, okay, and now you're Yui,
Mm-hmm.
and because you're Yui, you can't have the main character, or your or your best girl. Well, your quote unquote best. Like they're trying to make her like literally like best girl by being so understanding and so cool with everything, but it's just all happening in like one episode. It just seems very drastic. Um,
Yeah. It's just not. I don't know. I feel like they're trying to rush towards a specific ending.
yeah, they're
So
trying to just really push Yoshino, and it's like, oh, we gotta break up. They gotta break up. They gotta
listen,
break up
I
quick.
love Yoshino. I just feel like this is way too rushed.
Yeah, same. But yeah, that's that. Yeah, that's that. I think there's nothing much more to say about Masamune.
Nope. Not
Yeah.
really.
Okay. For our last show of the night, we have Helck,
Yes.
episode 9.
This doesn't this feel like a 1990s anime?
Kind of.
Like it gives me strong Fist of the North Star, or like just those random shonen anime where it'd be like the main characters travel around like a post-apocalyptic world and just like fight people and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I can see that for sure. Um, Funny enough, in the beginning of the episode, Hulk actually struggles with something in his life.
Yeah.
He gets pulled down by the sea monster and doesn't actually just straight up beat him. Sounds of escaping. I love it was so funny how I think he's talking about. And I knew he wasn't dead, but that's part of the humor I always like about this series. Like, not only is he not dead, he actually somehow beat her to land while she's on a
Yeah.
boat. It was with a sign that says "goal." Like that was oh
That
my
was a fun
god,
scene.
that was
Just like
so
seeing her
stupid.
crying on the sand, and he's just standing there with like a side goal.
Like you see her like punching the sand, thinking it's because she's upset that he's dead, and then you just pants to him holding the goal sign. Because she's just so pissed.
It was also really cute when like she was screaming at him about it, and then Kiwi's like, "Oh, you gotta go to the goal. You didn't go to the goal," and she's like, "Ah, fine." And she just turns around and walks to the goal.
And then he U-turns back around.
Yeah.
And then the whole scene with the barbarians who take them captive, and they're just like, "Oh, we're being taken captive." Like they're being super polite about being prisoners. They're like, "Yeah, this is sturdy," and Helck just breaks it by accident.
Phoebe's like, "Where's my?"
Right? And they're like, "We don't have one for you." And he gets mad. He gets upset about it. It's such a weird show. And then we learn about what's happening at the random town. Apparently, everyone was transformed into weird pig demon people by this one demon. And then said demon approaches their town, and Helck literally slaps them all away. Then proceeds to fight old dude who, I don't know, it leads to another mystery. Who gave him this mysterious power to make him like crazy strong and roid out? And yeah, so I feel like I would like to see a proper fight next episode, but I feel like it's also going to be over in like 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, he's just gonna be like, super technique, boom.
Right, he's like, well, time to punch you with all my strength, and then explode. But also I feel like if it's gonna be that fast, I wish they would just left it in this episode where he just beats him. Just saying. But yeah, that is it for Help. And that is the end of the weekly reviews, and that is the end of this motherfucking podcast. So Oni, please be a dear and take us away.
And guys, if you enjoyed this week's episode of the Waifu Wars podcast, make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to catch every episode as they go up every week. If you haven't already, do follow us over on Twitter, follow us on Twitch, and join the party in the Discord, all linked in the description down below. If you'd like, you can even join us for our weekly live watches with our patrons and channel members. We are still watching Mushoku Tensei and Jujutsu Kaisen, so if you want to join us just in time for that Shibuya arc, you know what to do. And Drew, you have anything you'd like to say?
To everyone that's in New York, just want to remind you, this is our final summer. So get out while you can before we actually have fall. I just looked at the weather for next week, and we're gonna be in the 80s.
Yay!
Yay!
And on that hot note, this has been Sobroni and
Scooby Doo.
I'll catch y'all later. Later.
Bye.